Hello there everyone, my name is Crazy Caleb, and welcome to a series of different modules that we're going to be taking a look at today. I kind of wanted to take a step back from some of the harder stuff, and I kind of have a goal of finishing up the repo as much as I can with tutorials. So today we're going to take a step back, and we're going to be taking a look at some of the easier variants of modules on the BOM itself. So let's take a look at what we're going to be looking at today. In today's lineup, we're going to be taking a look at the neutral button, Nya, blue whale, Breaktime, letter math, the Logan Parody Jukebox, which I will spare you the sounds, trust me, icon reveal, and indentation. Now, indentation is probably the hardest of this entire concept, especially on voice-wise, but it is quite a fun module that I personally enjoy. So let's start with some of the easier stuff on here. So as we can see, let's start with the neutral button, and let's take a look at what we need to do with this module here. So as we can see, the neutral button is exactly what you think it is. It's a neutral button. However, from time to time, the neutral face on the button will actually blink itself. And what our goal is our goal is to press the button within a half a second of it blinking to solve the module, and pressing it any other time will incur a strike. So this is sort of a bit of a reaction test, and in order to solve the module, right there, it is very easy to mess up, trust me. As we saw, it just blinked right there. However, I was not quick enough to react right there. So let's wait for it to come back around again. That was just a demonstration of me hitting it wrong, but it is very reaction heavy and can be quite annoying. There we go. Next up on this next example here, let's wait. It did blink there just a second ago, but let's wait for it to come back around. Even the icon itself blinks. I just saw it blink back there. There we go. So that's pretty straightforward. It's really not too hard. That's all you really need to know about the module itself. So let's take a look at the next module that we're going to be looking at. Next up is Nya. Now, Nya is what you think it is. It is based off of it sounds like a cat because it is going to be showing you a picture of a cat present on the module here. So now, what this module is asking you is, it shows you a picture and it has the two options here, Nya or Na. In this case, what we want to do, if a cat is present on the module, we're going to be pressing Nya. Or otherwise we're going to be pressing Na. In most cases, I believe the only case where it's Na happens to be a bomb showing up in the actual picture, so you're simply going to be pressing Na to that. But if it is not a cat, we're not if it is not a cat, we're going to press Na. If it is, in this case, it is indeed, we're going to be pressing Nya. Just like that. Likewise with the same example here, this kitty is sleeping, so this is going to be a Nya. Okay, that's that one pretty straightforward, not too hard to do. So now, next up is the blue whale. The blue whale looks like a blue whale picture right here, and it's got a series of 4 different options. And what our goal is to select the correct statement that is based off of some series of facts that have been proven to be true. So let's take a look. Be careful, as almost every wrong answer is either similar to the facts or common misconceptions about the blue whale. So, we have 4 different options here, and only one of them will be the correct answer. Now, sometimes there is also the possibility to use this as deduction, the process of deduction. The fact that there are multiple of the same answers, in this case, loudest marine animal appears twice, that pretty much means that we're not going to be selecting that one. That's pretty straightforward. So now, let's take a look. We have the largest living thing on Earth, and can weigh up to 200 tons. So which one of those is going to be 2? So in this case, these are all of our true answers that we could potentially get and have been proven to be true. And in this case, they can also weigh up to 200 tons. So in this case, this is going to be our answer down here. So it's going to be this green option.
Which mammal has the most cells in its body? Blue whale.
And it has a funny solve sign.
It's the blue whale bonus, and you get points. And what do points mean? Right. Bad surprises. Yeah.
And just like that, that's a solved module. So it has that little funny solve sound to it. You can, of course, as it said, you can press the square when the module does indeed solve. To actually skip that solve sequence. It is funny for like the first couple times, but after a while you definitely want to skip it. And in this case, we can do our same process of deduction here. Biggest dead body in the world. Those two happen to appear twice on here, and this happens to be the exact same case. They can also weigh up to 200 tons. So we can hit that guy.
Which mammal has the most cells in its body? Blue whale.
And it solves. We can hit this and just simply skip it, just like that. So now, next up, let's move on to Breaktime. Now, this module I have made a tutorial on previously. However, it is not one of my best. I'm going to be honest with you. It was a joke from the beginning. and I did not mean to make it as long as I did. I kept re-rolling for a 1, and essentially what I did is I left that for an hour long. I left that on recording for an hour long. I'm sorry about that. But essentially, this module is asking, it gives you an hour time below in the bottom right here. And in this case, what we need to do is based off of that hour time, all we simply need to do is select the amount of breaks we're going to get based off of the amount of hours that we're working. So in this case, as you can see on this table, the only case where multiple hours apply is going to be 1, 2, and 3. You don't need any breaks for if you're working 1, 2, and 3. And then from this point, it is simply just counting. It's going to be 1, 2, 3 from this first option, then 4, then 5, then 6, then 7, then 8, then 9, then 10. So that's kind of how it's a nice way to solo it. It's a very, very nice and easy solo. So in this case, it's 1 hour. So we're going to be doing 0 breaks, and that's the option we're going to select.
Is the right answer.
Just like that. Likewise, on the opposite end of the spectrum, this is going to be 10 hours. In this case, we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Should be 4 breaks. In the manual, it says it's 4 breaks. Bada bang, bada boom. Nice. Now, next up, let's take a look at letter math here. Letter math is a pretty straightforward module. It has to do with the alphabetic positions. In this case, this is going to be referring to always going to be A1Z26, and it is a nice solo if you happen to know how to do a little bit of mental math and how the positions of the alphabet work, essentially. So in this case, it's going to be a Bravo plus a Sierra. Now, there can be multiplication, there can be subtraction. I believe it is, for the most part, just your basic form of division. It's addition, subtracting, division, and multiplication. I believe that those are the 4 that can only appear. However, in this case, we only have 2 pluses. So that's going to be one thing to point out. This case, this is going to be a 2, which in this case is going to be Bravo, plus a 19, which is Sierra. So 2 plus 19. In this case, we're going to add both of those together. That's going to give us a 21. And we're going to select the option that has 21 on its label. And that's the entire module right there.
That is
just like
absolutely
that.
right.
And that's all you have to do. Likewise with this case, Papa is going to be 16. 16 right here. We're going to add 8 to this. So that's going to be 16 plus 8 for the hotel. That's going to be a plus, it's going to be 24 as our answer. We're going to hit 24, and just like that is a solved module. So now, let's take a look at the next one here. I'm going to skip this one. So now, with icon reveal is going to be a bit of an interesting one. Icon reveal has some sort of like pixelated image that is based off of an icon that is present on the bottom, it appears to be. So, taking a look here, this icon it does have some pickles that is slightly covering up the module icon. And what's going to be happening is that we need to figure out what module icon this represents, along with what series of characters we need to find here. Now, it specifically wants you to take a look at the periodic table view. This is where these essentially these submissions come into play here, where there's essentially a series of multiple different letters. So I have this open here, and as you can see, I'm currently using the list view. The list view is what people tend to use the most, just because it's a lot easier to actually see stuff in here. However, what we need to do is we need to take a look at this view option here, and we need to hit periodic table. And this is going to give us each of the different options that we have here. So as you can see, we have metal making represents MTL. We have moved, which is MVD. We have shoddy chest, which is SDC, for example. But in this case, we can still search up the names like normal. However, it will just appear in a bit of a different format. So as we can see here, this represents blue whale, because this looks very, very similar to a blue whale icon. So if we search up blue whale, what is that periodic table series of letters in this case? That's going to be BLWH. So let's find that in our in here, and this is going to be BLWH. We're going to hit submit, and just like that is a solved module. Let's do our other example on this one. This looks very close to a neutral button. I can see that yellow button in the background. So let's search up neutral button. Neutral button. If I can spell right, that would be lovely. Neutral button simply is going to be represented by NE. NE, perfect. So let's hit submit, and just like that is a solved module. So now that's all that module is. Just make sure that you flip on periodic table, and that's going to be good to go for you. So we're going to close you, and we're going to close you. So now, with indentation, let's take a look at what we need to do for this guy. This guy is a little bit of a trickier one to essentially describe on voice, because what you need to do is you need to essentially discern what we have here is going to be a spinning circle here, and it's going to have a series of different black dots. You need to figure out which space we're essentially going to be selecting that include these empty spaces. And what we need to do is we need to figure out where we want to go from this. So how exactly do we describe this? So now, let's say we start at this black right here, and we simply read this, for example, in a clockwise fashion or counterclockwise fashion, for example. So we simply treat this as north. So it's going to be a blank, 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 or should I say, it should be black, blank, 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 or some kind of way. So filled, blank, 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 filled, blank, filled, and then what we have to do is we have to essentially find one of our options here, which can potentially be rotated. That's very important to note down. So if we take a look around here, it could be this. It can't be U. Those are not separate. Those are all separated from each other. It can't be U. That's 4 symbols. It can't be U. Those two. That's too far apart. There's only one blank in between these other 3 symbols right here. It could be U potentially right here. Which I actually believe it is right here. Yes, it is this one right here. So this one is not our answer right here, as it represents, it's in a different order, as you can see here. The one in this case is, this entire thing is actually flipped, as a matter of fact. So this one would be before the other 2 pieces right here. So that means that this is not our answer. And looking at this as it's moving clockwise, the arrow that it points at to a specific part of the module is what you need to press and submit. So in this case, from our 2 part right here, we simply want to go 1 clockwise from the last black circle right here. So let's do that. We press this guy right here, and just like that is a solved module. Let's take a look at this last example here, which I actually believe is the exact same example, so that's going to be perfect. And as we can see, it can be spinning clockwise or counterclockwise. The direction does not matter. All that matters is you somehow find a way to discern the spaces apart from each of the filled circles. And we want to simply figure out where we are going to submit. So in this case, we're going to be submitting at the exact same spot, which is going to be 1 clockwise from the 2 blacks here. Just like that. Yeah. And now we get into the probably one of the more notoriously just notorious modules, the Logan Parody Jukebox. So this is one of the more recent jukeboxes that have been made, and however, it is not all that great. I'm going to be honest with you. So for this sake, I'm actually going to essentially just mute the entire desktop audio so that I can spare you guys from having to listen to this. Logan is a member of this community. He has indeed sung all of these songs, and these are all parody songs. And it's not great. I'm going to be honest with you. Even I think I can sing a little bit better than that, and I'm not. I haven't sung in a while, so let's take a look. So it works very similar to how a normal jukebox would work. All you simply need to do is you need to simply figure out the words that these are going to be associating to based off of which song they are going to be, and press them in the order as they appear in the actual song. First occurrence, of course. So now let's use Control F, the powers of Control F. Let's search up thinking. So now I'm thinking I should tell you what this budget is. You're not using it. Also, what is your hashtags? Is this a gram post in your video? What the F is this? So in this case, we have thinking. We have now, using, and thinking. We need to figure out which order these guys appear in. So it's going to be now first, then thinking, then using in this case. So now, thinking, and using. I'm also going to mute my end too, because this is not something I want to listen to. So we have now, thinking, and using. And just like that is a solved module. That's all you simply need to do with it. Let's do one more time. So we'll do a lazy. This should be pretty straightforward. Most of these words actually do tend to be pretty unique, so it's going to be very specific to a very specific song. These songs are kind of all over the place, I will say. So you should not have any trouble with finding a song. There is not really that many to look at lyrics. So we have lazy, rap, and specifics. So we have specifics right here. Then we have lazy, and then we have rap. So it's going to be specifics, lazy, and rap. And just like that, we will solve the module. Specifics, lazy, and rap. And just like that is a solved bomb. As always, thank you guys for watching. Remember to stay crazy, stay cool. I will probably do a couple more of these because these are really straightforward modules. And quite frankly, a lot of the stuff that I have left on the repo is really easy stuff. I'm actually, quite frankly, running out of harder stuff to do. There is still plenty of harder stuff for me to actually do. I mean, like, just look at this. no tutorial, but sorting it by TP difficulty and I reverse this, there is still plenty of harder stuff left to do. And trust me, I will get around to whatever I can possibly teach. There are just some things I will never be able to teach, keep in mind. However, I believe it should be done now. Yes, it is. Yes, okay, good. There is still some harder stuff that I do plan on getting to. However, I really kind of want to knock down quite a few of stuff that's on the repo because there's currently 415 items that don't have a tutorial, and the stuff that I can get done while I can is going to be really, really helpful for me. So please understand this. If you know everything on this bomb, totally fine. Just trying to clean up the repo a little bit because there's a bunch of easy stuff I need to get done, and then we shall be moving on our way. Hopefully I will be getting the ciphers done as well soon, too, for those of you who are still watching at this point. There is some of them that I do plan on getting done. However, what I need to essentially do is I need to do a lot of learning, and I need to get a lot of consistency down. So, as always, thank you guys for watching. Remember to stay crazy, stay cool, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.